depressing an experience as I've ever had going to movies.
Now, I know some people found this movie fun, but me, I'd rather spend 2 hours having root canal work done.
It's a terrible film from beginning to end.
You know the theory of reincarnation, where the dues we pay in this lifetime may get to collect in another lifetime? For having seen this movie, I want months and months and months in a beautiful valley.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, we give it a 3.
Oh, well, maybe it wasn't that good. Let's give it a 1.
Hulk smash. Hulk make bad movie. Is the consensus not great on
Hello,
that?
Hulk. How are you?
Hulk mad and Hulk win Razzie.
Sun's going down there, bud.
It's getting real low.
That's we're referencing the good Hulk, which there hasn't been a
And there never
standalone.
will be.
No, they will not give it to Mark Ruffalo.
She-Hulk 2022, though.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
the only reason I know that is because that's what comes up every time you search this movie.
Yeah, Hulk? She-Hulk?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that's what you want, right? It's like, actually, I do. That is what I want.
Very true. Yes, I do want that.
Yes, welcome to Bombs Away, the Bad Movie Comedy Podcast. My name is Tyler Rowe. Joining me here inside the studio, as always, is...
Peyton Bieber.
And...
Oh, it ain't easy being mean. Jarrett.
that was better than my Hulk impression in the beginning. Actually, don't really think he talks as the Hulk.
He does. He says
Puny human.
The voice modulation for certain things just doesn't happen. Like, sometimes he's getting hit to the ground and he's like, whoa, and then another time he gets hit to the ground and he's like, ugh. Like,
I do have to
we
say...
pick and choose here, don't we?
Disney definitely did a much better job with their Hulk, because this is like Chode Hulk.
Yeah.
He looks so... Like, for some reason, they were like, take Banner.
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana, not Bruce Banner, that he plays.
Eric
Bana.
Bruce Bana.
But they take Eric Bana's eyes, but then like made them wider apart.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they just they took the model for Hulk, and then they just grabbed one side and stretched it, so
Yeah.
it just got wider instead of like the angle, the corner to make it proportional.
This was the precursor to the facial recognition stuff. that
Is
they
it?
used. I want to say it's sort of like an early ancestor of it. Yeah.
Well, what's wild though is that like this movie came out after Lord of the Rings, which did it well.
Yeah.
Which is I mean, there's many movies that did what this movie's trying to do well far before this movie came out. But what movie are we talking about? You may have guessed. It is 2003's Hulk.
Not the Incredible
Not
Hulk.
the Incredible Hulk. Not the Hulk.
Not She-Hulk.
Not She-Hulk. Not the Hulk movie that
Not
we
the
will
Incredible
never get.
Hulk with Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, just Hulk, which makes me genuinely irrationally angry that is the
Hulk
title.
out.
Makes me Hulk out. Yes.
Angry.
With an IMDb score of 5.6, a Rotten Tomatoes score of 29%.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's 2003's Hulk. Let's get into it.
Let's smash it. That's
All right, yeah, it's okay. That's about as much effort as they put into making the movie. Actually, that's not true. I have to say, they put too much effort into making this movie.
Too much effort into the transitions of this movie.
Oh, God, this movie made me nauseous.
I didn't know what was happening.
I have to say, that is the one thing about this movie that I like and I appreciate.
I get what they're trying to do. It's comic book panel-esque. I get it.
It
just doesn't translate well.
This at the time, right? So this is 2003. That means the first Spider-Man has come out. The second Spider-Man has come out. Right? Spider-Man 2 was out by this point. I'm not going to look it up, but let's just say it was. But like this was kind of the time with not like where we are now, where it's literally like it's like binary. There's no way you can get around it.
2004.
Okay, so it wasn't out yet. But this is the time when you could take risks with a superhero movie.
Yeah, you don't fall into the Marvel, methods.
Yeah.
What risk did they take besides risking not writing a good script?
I'll tell you two things. I will say this up front. Obviously, we'll get into the plot with this. Two things that they risked with it. One, using Ang Lee as the director for this is a risk because he is a very visual director, and this is not a movie that you would anticipate being a visual film. I think that's one reason why the movie's so fucking long, because it's mostly story. And
Except
for those
there's
of you who
one
don't know,
shot that is an extreme wide shot of San Francisco for some reason.
yeah, just
Like,
forever.
why did we switch?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know who Ang Lee is, he directed Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Life of Pi, a personal favorite of mine, Brokeback Mountain. That was his follow-up to this movie, so thank God he got out of this rut.
Ugh, why couldn't he quit this?
To make
Film.
make it earlier.
Were there abrupt transitions?
What was that?
I just had a stroke.
Starting the episode over.
Could you imagine it? I know what you said. I got the
Are
gist.
there abrupt transitions?
Could you imagine? We'll talk about it later, but the explosion transition when that guy dies.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they put that in Brokeback Mountain
Right.
when he dies? Yeah, so definitely a director wasted on this project.
Hey, bring him back for the MCU Hulk.
We're never gonna get it. So yeah, go for it.
I kind of hope they do.
I don't.
I think it could be there. Well, we know that in what's his name, Shang, the new one.
Yes, I know.
The Ten Rings, Shang-Chi or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
Abomination is fighting Wong in it,
And it's the Abomination from the Edward Norton.
Yeah. So I think, the puzzle pieces are there.
Yeah.
You just gotta assemble them.
I'm telling you, Hulk is an A-list superhero that is only ever a B plot in other people's movies.
Yes.
Like that's all he
In
gets.
Ragnarok.
Yeah,
he's great in
Ragnarok. He's great, but he's not the main character.
No.
Also, there's so much story to the Hulk where it's like, you're not really telling it. Also, I don't consider him like a great superhero because like you don't control it.
Well, so that's it. The funny thing is like whether or not we consider it to be the Hulk to be a big superhero is you have to look at the best way to know if a superhero is an A-list superhero is you need to look at which superheroes Disney acquired when they got Marvel, and any that they didn't acquire at the time were A-list superheroes. So, I mean, Hulk was because they had the Lou Ferrigno show back in the day, so he was a really big deal. Obviously, Spider-Man was like the biggest Marvel superhero. Captain America was, but he was owned by Corman at the time, so they were making really bad Captain America stuff, and then he was taken by Disney. But this
And Hulk Hogan, was WWE.
That's the racist version of Hulk.
Oh.
But yeah, and also like you said, there's so much backstory to the Hulk, but it depends on which backstory you subscribe to.
Right.
Because this one is, I swear to God, they made this one up.
They did.
Is it made up for the movie?
Well, mostly.
Let me tell you guys.
I mean, it's like a loose interpretation of what they did.
This one is Hulk cum. That's what it was. It was
Pretty
Hulk
much.
nut.
Yeah.
that made Bruce Banner into the Hulk. His dad injected himself with gamma.
So we spend 20 minutes of the movie.
God,
that's 2 hours
damn.
long.
It is the longest intro that did nothing.
It just like all this stuff happens, and we're still at 20 minutes into the movie.
There is a lot of science shit.
There's
in this
also a
movie.
lot of back flashes.
Flashbacks.
Flashbacks.
Hey, we're doing really
I was
great here
like,
over here.
We're all having strokes this
We're on the
episode.
stupid couch.
No, yeah. There is a lot of flashbacks.
To stuff you've already seen.
Yeah.
So it's
To
like a
literally-
flashback and you're like, yes, we've seen
But
this
you know
before.
what? I think that's an Ang Lee thing. I think he does a lot of flashbacks. Life of Pi is like all flashbacks.
He's like, hey, look at this 20-minute intro to how the Hulk became the Hulk.
But
The
you're going to
title
see it
sequence
all
of this
again.
movie
Look at
is
it
so
again.
fucking long. It's just
If you
so...
cut out the flashbacks, I think we'd have like an hour and a half movie.
No, I think if you cut out the intro sequence, the
And
flashbacks, and maybe some of him jumping around, you would have an hour and a half long movie. This movie was brutal, to say the least. Peyton, you fell asleep while
I
watching
fell
it?
asleep a little bit, and I even stopped it halfway and like got myself something to eat.
With the therapy.
And then we did my therapy session. And then I even like stopped it before like the big fight and watched it the next day. I was like, I'm done. I'm tired. I gotta go.
God, I literally went and made lunch. I did some dishes, and I came back and I knew I missed nothing. Like I just left it running in the background, and I was like, I know I didn't miss anything.
It's just, you probably just missed Jennifer Connelly crying
Hey,
again.
I love Jennifer Connelly.
full on thought it was Demi Moore the
Yeah,
entire
you were
movie.
really like saying. Jarrett came into the studio today and was like, "Oh, Demi Moore, get off the screen." And I was like, "What fucking movie were you watching?"
Were you just watching
They look
Tangled?
super similar.
They do look super similar.
Yeah.
Are they like the same age? I think Demi Moore's like older.
I think she's older.
Yeah, but I love Jennifer Connelly. I realized I didn't mention any of the cast in this,
Right.
but we've talked about them tangentially
She's
now.
in the MCU.
Huh?
Oh, that's right.
Is she really?
She's the voice of the suit in Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Oh, she's Helen?
Yes.
Karen?
Yeah.
One of those?
Yeah. Some white lady name.
Not Friday.
Not Friday. No.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So it's Jennifer Connelly, Eric Bana as Bruce Banner, Nick Nolte, and
What's
Sam
he from?
Elliott. Nick
Yeah.
Nolte.
Yeah.
He's famous.
I've seen him. I'm pretty sure I've seen him around.
I knew it was him as soon as I saw
just
him
don't
because
know
I
where
know who
he's
Nick
from.
Nolte is, but I
Mhm.
literally can't tell you something off the top of my head.
So in the intro.
Oh, he's in The Mandalorian. He's that
He is?
little, the guy that Jin meets on the planet in the first few
Oh,
episodes.
yeah.
That's him.
Okay. But
Kind of looks like
the
him
guy
too.
in the flashbacks, young. I forget his
Oh, that accent fully got lost in
Yeah.
between him having a kid and then becoming an adult. I was like, how did a full adult lose an accent?
Oh,
over
when he's talking to him at
20-something
first, he's like,
years.
Bruce. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
But I thought that actor was the guy from Princess Bride.
I thought it was Carrie Elwes too. I was
is
really
that
like,
the guy from
oh, no way. It's not. I
It's
don't know
not?
who the
It's
fuck
just
it
his
is. Yeah.
impersonator?
Watch it be him, and I'm just
His
too
stunt
lazy to
double?
look it up on IMDb. That's what this movie did to me. I was like, I'm not looking shit up on IMDb.
Yeah.
The cast was all people that you definitely would have recognized if you were aware of actors in 2003.
Yeah, if you knew who
Yes.
they were, you'd be like, that guy. There
But,
was
like,
one person that I
17
wrote.
years later, I don't know.
There was one person that I wrote, hey, it's that guy in a scene because it's the guy from
it was
Hawaii
Stan Lee.
5-0. Yeah, Stan Lee doesn't show up. No, so after 25 minutes of intro, we finally get to see Bruce Banner as an adult. He's a dork-ass loser riding a bike with his helmet on up a hill into Berkeley.
We really never see him with his shirt off this entire film. Which I
Yeah,
was
we
like,
do. We see his butt.
Yeah, but we don't see like his front torso, which
Yeah,
usually
we do.
superhero movies
in
are
San
like.
Francisco, I thought don't we see him when he like?
No, you only
de-hulks?
see him from the behind, and then
Yeah, you
whenever
really
he does
do
walk
only see his
forward, he
back.
like he
This
hunches
is
over.
welcome to Jarrett's horny review of
Yeah.
Hulk. He should have hung Hulk dong.
Yeah, I want some
Hey,
green
he punched
bean.
the dogs in the balls. So.
That is
Yeah.
true. That fuck. Oh my god, we're
That-
getting ahead of
that's-
ourselves.
yeah,
This movie has so much of nothing that we better just get into it. So we meet Bruce Banner. He's a big fucking loser. Rides a bike. Goes up to his
Still got your
Berkeley.
helmet on.
Yeah, they're like making fun of him for having a helmet
Oh,
on.
dude, sorry, I just got off my bike.
Yeah, he goes up to the Berkeley Labs, which I couldn't. There's a million locations listed for this on IMDb, and I could not determine whether or not this actually was. But this looks like, again, like because this is the area that I'm from. This looks like Chabot College, which is in Oakland, up in the hills. I think it might be it. It's next to. It's like tangentially next to Berkeley, so I guess it
It was
works.
too expensive to get Berkeley, so.
Yeah, they were like, you are not allowed on our
And you're
campus.
like, Oakland? Yeah, whatever, do whatever you want.
They're like, also, you can't see the city from our campus. So they're like, that's going to ruin your establishing shot there. But this is where we get our Stanley and Lou Ferrigno
Yeah,
cameo.
yeah.
Literally, they got it out of the way in the beginning.
real early. They're like, we got nothing else to do the rest of this movie.
And they're just talking about security in like a throwaway line, which ends up being like a huge fucking thing through the movie because there is no security at this lab, apparently. People can just walk in and say they work there.
You can just kill a janitor.
Yeah,
Pretty sure he killed that janitor.
with those dogs.
Yeah.
And that's what he's feeding them in that scene.
Oh.
That's just a
that
theory.
makes sense.
A game theory.
Ew.
Yikes.
We don't like him.
So we find out through just massive exposition dumps right off the bat, as if the first 25 minutes of credits wasn't a exposition dump. We get an exposition dump here where not only does Bruce Banner just dump a bunch of shit to us, but Jennifer Connelly's character, Betty Ross, also just dumps a bunch of shit on you about how they used to date and how blah, 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 they're not together anymore. And Bruce Banner's such a dickhead that I'm like, yeah, I can see why you guys aren't together anymore.
For
Yeah.
being scientists, they're both really slow and dumb.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. They like talk like this.
That is going to be a theme between this movie and the movie that we cover next is really stupid scientists.
Yeah.
Because they are not only boring scientists, but they are really dumb. They're studying gamma radiation, which if you know Hulk, that's... And I was confused when it turned out that was what they were doing, because I was like, wait, are you going to set up his origin twice?
Yeah, basically.
And they do. They pump gamma radiation into a frog, and the frog explodes. And they have a dude that works with them in there that I don't know who he is.
He never comes back again.
He's just cannon fodder for a scene later. But yeah, it's
that's just kind of the way we're bumbling through this is just how the movie
is.
goes.
Yes, it's the movie. There's so much going on, and you're sitting there, and like every few minutes in this movie, I would shake my mouse a little bit to see how much was left in it, and I would groan each time.
It's like, imagine you have a can of condensed soup, and then you pour it into a bowl, and it's like, oh yeah, you gotta like liquidize it so it's not so like strong of a soup. You gotta stretch that story out. But then they just kept putting in too much water. Now it tastes really bad.
Use like
it's
bucket.
Really bad soup.
You used a bucket of water to dilute the soup, so now it's just like occasionally a noodle and a piece of chicken floats by. That's
Exposition. There it goes.
And that's the problem too, is that they set up so much exposition in the beginning of this movie that they don't leave any for the middle. And by middle, I mean like from now on. From now until the last 10 minutes of this movie, nothing substantial really happens.
Yeah. So they blow up a frog.
And
then there's like, how does he not get the frog joke? So they accidentally blow up this frog. Jennifer Connelly, Betty, she's like, well, at least we can create a product that'll be really helpful in case we ever need to blow up a bunch of frogs.
Oh,
and he's like,
there's a next plague or something.
What? She's like, well, if it starts raining frogs, we can use this to blow them all up. And he's like, oh. I'm like, really? How? Oh my God.
He's got that Hulk brain. He was the Hulk all
Body
along.
Big, brain tiny.
I crush frog.
What if it's actually all just a euphemism for steroids? The Hulk.
I think it's a
steroids.
It's just like our movie
just like
for
steroids.
Next time. It's all about nuclear fears.
Yeah. Steroids.
Well,
nuclear steroids.
The juice is loose.
Yeah.
They blow up a frog, and then this guy who I literally cannot tell you what his name is, but he works for a company called Atheon, which again,
Talbert.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Talbert?
Is it Talbert or Talbot?
Whatever it is. Fucking hate this guy.
The guy's such a jerk.
But this is again what I'm saying about how this movie did take risks. Is you look at the current Marvel movies, and really what it boils down to is they are very much pro-America, pro-military propaganda films. But with superheroes. But this one was like, the government is the enemy, and so are private defense firms. Because this guy works for a company called Atheon, which is like, you guys could have just called it Raytheon. We all know what you're saying here. But basically what he's trying to do is he's trying to court Betty Ross over to them. And then he's like, you should join us. Your knowledge would be better suited with us. And then
we can pay you 10 times as much.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, you're an idiot for not taking that offer. Like,
take it, work there for a year, leave.
Yeah.
Sell their secrets.
Well, it's funny that you say she doesn't want to
inside.
sell her soul, because this whole scene of her talking about it reminded me of like a series of like TikToks I've seen recently where people are like talking about getting a degree and then looking at the salaries for the jobs that they want, and then looking at the government contracted like defense contract jobs, and they pay like 4 times as much, and they're like dancing over to like a defense firm to get the money. But it's like, that's what this is. It's literally, that's how it is out there. Is that just how much money they're willing to pay and everything like that? My grandfather worked for Lockheed Martin in their film department. And so it's like
some propaganda, huh?
Yeah, exactly. He filmed missile tests, like shooting out of submarines and shit.
So
like
he
that.
provided the footage for our next movie.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He was the one who filmed it in the water. So this guy's like, hey, join me. And then he's like, if you don't join me, we're just going to buy out your lab anyway. So you could either come peacefully or we can... He's like, there's a reason it's called a hostile takeover. So Betty Ross is like, Bruce, don't worry. I'll go talk to my dad. He'll help us. It's like, you fucking moron. Do you think the military is going to help you with a defense contractor?
Meanwhile, her dad has like the giant hard on for Bruce. Like, I'm gonna get that guy. I've got my eyes on him. He's gonna do something bad now.
And it's so funny because you really think that the movie thinks it's being subtle about who each of these mysterious characters that they drop in are, and like right off the bat, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. Because when they show this guy, you're just right off the bat, you're like,
He's
that's the guy from the beginning of the movie. That was like told Bruce Banner's dad, like, the line, God, right, first line of one of the first lines of the movie just really starts you off for the type of writing that's going to happen, because his character in the flashback in the credits says, manipulating the immune system is dangerous and stupid. And I was like, that's it. That's where he leaves it, and that's it. That's this guy in the future. He knows Bruce Banner because of all these experiments, but we don't know that yet. But we know that because the guy in the past had a mustache, and so does Sam Elliott.
Does Sam Elliott's character always have to have a mustache?
Probably.
Sam Elliott has a mustache that's baller, so I think that's why.
I think it's like is Sam Elliott. I think Sam Elliott is the mustache, and he just wears a human.
Sam Elliott, I love Sam Elliott so much. He's an alumni of the show. He was in Roadhouse. This is one movie that I've seen him where he was able to escape being like a pseudo cowboy.
Yeah. It was nice to see him in a different role than just I'm going to start singing now.
I think the one that's like my favorite for me is like, he's always cast as a cowboy. And I can't imagine what it was like for when he signed on for The Good Dinosaur. And he's like, cool, I'm going to be a dinosaur. And then they signed him on to be a cowboy dinosaur. It's like, I can't escape it.
I'm always typecast.
Oh.
But yeah, he's actually really good in this. I do have to say, he's probably really like the only person. Maybe Nick Nolte does a really good job too, but they're really the two actors who are kind of.
Chest hair's all over the place.
Who? Sam Elliott?
Yeah. It's really creepy.
I do wish.
Oh, I thought you were saying it's hot because you are doing the horny review for the listeners at home.
Yeah.
I wish that they kept this General Ross though. I think Sam Elliott would have made a better General Ross
than in the
current
Edward
MCU.
Norton one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would have made it because if he does eventually return to the Red Hulk, I would have been much better to see Sam Elliott turn into Red Hulk than.
Who is the current guy? That's the guy who shows up at the end of. Iron Man, right? Or some shit like that. Or he's in Iron Man.
He's in a little bit of Iron Man. He's also in the Civil War one.
That's right.
I think
That's
the
right.
most recent
Yeah.
one he's had, where he's like, "You guys, here's
oh,
the
it's that
Accords.
guy. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
You see him a lot with what's his name? War Machine.
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
Yeah. No, I get you're saying. He would be better. I have a feeling he probably cost too much for Marvel at the time.
Robert Downey Jr. is like, I don't want to.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is like, I won't even share the stage with my co-stars. You think I want to be with Sam Elliott? So this is when a really weird scene again on the security stand. A new janitor just shows up, and Jennifer Connelly's character Betty Ross is like, "Oh, where's Benny?" And the new guy who is just Nick Nolte's like, Benny's dead, I'm the new guy. And they're like, and she's like, oh, okay.
All right, well, have fun.
Thanks. I left a massive shit in the bathroom. And then also, again, where no one is concerned with any of this stuff, Eric Bana, he wanted to call everyone by their actual names. Banner finds a fucking dog in the lab. And
it's like some contamination
a poodle,
issues.
not a lab.
Yeah.
He finds a dog, and he goes up to it, and it's like, "Arr!" And he like jumps back from it, and he's like, all right, well, see you later. It's just like walks out. It's like,
that's weird. Oh well.
This is how we get COVID. Is when you just let animals freely roam your lab and then just like don't worry about it. Yeah, so we go to Banner's house. There's a lot of these these expositional scenes that literally don't mean anything. We go to Banner's house. He looks out his window. He sees the janitor guy and the dog standing outside. And the movie's like, anyway, next scene.
He closes the blinds and is like, wait, that was actually kind of weird. And opened them back up and he was gone. I was like, this is really stupid.
I just like to imagine Nick Nolte was like, oh, fuck, gotta go. Run.
Oh, shit, he saw me.
Come on, let's go, boys.
Let's go. Dogs are like shitting. Like, hurry up. So then we go to this mysterious man's house. It's Nick Nolte's house. Literally,
It's like on a junkyard or something.
Yeah,
but then
that-
it's not later on in the movie.
yes, that was so confusing to me. When they
It's
finally
really
showed it, I was like, this is a different house.
Yeah.
And also, in this moment, I literally was like, this is his dad. There's no,
Yeah.
like, I don't know why the movie was trying to be like, big reveal, it's his dad. It's like, no, I know that. I knew that the
Yeah,
minute I saw
obviously.
I
him.
could see it.
Yeah, you could see it.
Do you think that the house that they went to, that's not on the junkyard, is the ex-janitor's house, and he killed the janitor?
Ooh. No, it has all of his science equipment in it.
Oh, that's right.
So I think that is his house.
Maybe the janitor was an amateur scientist. He got all the old lab equipment.
What is Goodwill Hunting? I figured out the secret to gamma radiation.
Yeah.
How do you like them apples?
Well, yeah, we'll get to that part where he like home improvements his own.
Oh,
Gamma
yeah. Oh,
testing.
my God. This movie. I thought the way that they made Abomination in the Edward Norton one was dumb, and then this movie was like, what if we went stupider? What if we went mad dumb with it? So we're back at the lab. The Atheon guy is like, hey, we're taking over. And in this process, they kind of like angrily do. I don't know why they just all of a sudden are like, let's run this experiment. Or they're fixing the machine, and the guy who will never see from ever again, I can't tell you his name, I can't even tell you what he looks like, is fixing the machine, and it like turns on.
He like short circuits it, and it like turns. Yeah, and it like randomly turns on.
I'm gonna tell you right
And
now,
start the test.
science equipment doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
there's,
I don't think so.
there's no fucking way you would be working on a piece of equipment that dangerous where there is an opportunity for it to just turn
Or without
on.
a kill switch too.
Yeah.
Just shut down the whole like lab and just cut off the power.
Like, you think about something even more basic than that, is like roller coasters have lockout tags that you like hook on the thing so no one can turn it on.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way this gamma radiation like machine. Also, they're only sitting behind like a plate of glass, which again I don't understand.
That would not protect you from gamma.
No, and also it's like
They all have cancer.
that mega
Probably,
cancer. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Let's see here. A quick.
Oh no, Peyton's bringing up a scientific journal.
Oh
Let's see.
god.
Gamma goes through basically everything, including lead.
Oh cool.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, it goes through paper, plastic, steel, and lead. Doesn't say anything about glass though. There's a loophole.
I see they were behind glass, so they're
Oh.
okay. I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, so he gets stuck in it. So then I don't know why Bruce Banner is like, I'll absorb it, which again, everyone's
Doesn't
dead.
work that way.
No, you can't just block the gamma
He's like,
radiation.
I'll stand in front of it like a train.
And then he gets absolutely blipped with it. And while this was happening, it
turns
reminded
into-
me of a story. Do you guys know the story of the Japanese scientist whose last name was Ouchi? Which is ironic when I tell you this sad story.
Oh, is it the yeah? Oh, I know about this one, and I've seen the photos. It's
I
really
have not.
bad.
So there was a like nuclear like radiation test happening in Japan. This was like in the 50s or the 60s, or actually maybe in like, I don't know when it was, 70s, 80s, in that time period. And the scientists were handling radioactive isotopes, and they were doing something with them, and then there was just a bright flash, and then it was gone. What they didn't know is that this guy, whose last name is Ouchi, like I said, is kind of ironic about the story, was exposed to just an insane amount of radiation in that moment, to the point where very shortly, like almost immediately, everyone in the room threw up, they blacked out, but because he was the one holding the thing that went nuts, he got super fucked up. His skin started sloghing off of his body.
Like immediately?
Like over the course of a few days. But
okay.
then the Japanese government and like scientific like research
It is
firms,
debated though
whether or not
if they were trying to keep him or to heal him or
I don't think they were trying to heal him.
yeah.
They kept him alive for weeks
What?
to study what was wrong with him.
Holy cow.
And he was alive and in
Just, like, melting,
Yeah, he was like
basically.
melting
Whoa.
for a very long time until he finally died. But literally his skin fell off to the bone like a nice brisket. Like,
Wow.
Oh, you couldn't eat it though.
oh, that's the worst part about a brisket, isn't it? When you
Yeah.
can't eat it.
Mm.
But yeah, and that's what this reminded me of, because that's probably what would have happened to Bruce
Wow.
Banner in this moment. His skin just sort of been like, Yeah.
Dang.
Pouring out for Ouchie.
I mean, that's probably what would really happen.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
That's what Tyler just said. Tyler literally just said that's probably what would have happened to him.
I was in the middle of picturing
that's
his
probably
skin
literally what
sloughing off.
You can look up pictures if you
just-
want
Yeah,
to. You
it's-
guys, there's photos online of him laying in
It's
a bed,
brutal.
and it's like
and they're
you're
like holding. Ugh.
you're looking at him, and you're like, I don't know what I'm looking at. It looks like something out of like a Resident Evil game.
yeah.
Like every Resident Evil
Yeah.
game has like a hospital level.
Yeah.
There's always like a body like slung up that's all bloody. That's what it looks like.
Oh, man.
Gross.
It's fucking crazy. But yeah, that's what would happened to Bruce Banner.
And this is also when the movie's like, you want to know what cool filter we found on our computer today?
oh, the weird like embossed.
Is that how when Lou Ferrigno turns into Hulk? Isn't that what happens in there?
I think so.
I think that was like a little callback.
it's awful.
So
But it's like-
bad.
Literally just drag and drop emboss onto it. Yeah, he really is. They should have added a like sound effect to it because that's what happens to him. Yeah, and then he just wakes up in the hospital and they're like, "Oh yeah, the other guy he's okay. Don't worry. He's done."
Jennifer Connelly's crying once again.
Yeah, that is what she does in this movie. Yeah, she just cries.
She's like, you should die soon.
Yeah, she's like, I'm upset
Like,
because you're
"You're
still
going to
alive."
pass.
The nanites or whatever must have saved your life.
Yeah, it's like, what?
Huh?
What is this
For
thing
the
you're
nanomeds.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, what are you introducing now all of a sudden into
It's
this
like-
movie?
He's like, no,
So
they
there's, like-
worked.
So they're like tiny robots?
That's what I thought.
That's like what I'm under.
I was
They're
so
nanomeds. It
I
was,
thought they were nanites.
No, they called it nanomeds.
Oh, did they? So it's like cell regeneration. I was so fucking confused when she said that because I was
Yeah.
still just kind of shocked that she was upset that he was still alive.
Because I was picturing like, so wait, he has like tiny robots in him, and then
That's
he
what I
turns into the
thought.
Hulk, and that's what holds him together. But like, his father's experiments on him also helped somehow. Too much.
And Hulk nut. Yeah. So then she leaves, and then
She's like, I gotta get out of town.
and then Nick
I gotta
Nolte.
go to the mountains.
Nick Nolte shows up and tells us what we were all thinking.
Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte. Mick Nolte.
Nick.
Who's Mick Nolte?
No one.
Oh, we're never.
Do you think his name was Mick this whole time?
Actually, every time you say Nick Nolte, I hear Mick Nolte, which I think is a character from somewhere.
Because you
else.
don't want to hear me say the NN back.
Yeah.
I just realized my personal circle of hell would be recording a podcast episode, but we never get to finish the movie.
Well,
I was like,
welcome to
oh,
hell.
God.
Oh no, we'll finish up the movie because there's a 45-minute chunk in this movie where nothing happens. Yeah, so Nick Nolte shows up and he's like, "I'm your dad." It's like, thanks, reveal that we all knew.
Yeah. And it's kind of piss poor too, because he's like, I'm dad. Anywho, you were in my semen.
Yeah, he's like, the gamma was in my nut. Anyway, see you later. Then we go back to his house. We see some more science shit. That is one thing about this movie that's so fucking boring is if you cut out all of the weird science shit that they're doing, and not even weird science, like that'd be better. But
I was like, God, I want to watch Weird Science.
I love weird science so much. If you cut all that bullshit out of this movie, it would be shorter too. Because all it is just like scenes of science happening. You're like, all right, what am I watching here? Like,
weirdly transitioned into each other.
yeah, and they like blend and melt. There is some cool scenes, like when
And
he
then
puts
they,
the
like-
thing in the centrifuge and it spins, and then the
Except
scene spins and comes back.
There's also some scenes where it'll be like, here is a side view of her dad, but also here's the back view of her dad.
I do
and they're
like
combined
that.
together, and I was like, oh, what?
I do like that because that's supposed to be like the comic book thing.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
picture in picture. Like,
But it does that weird thing sometimes where it'll outline it in black ink and make it look cartoonish, but then other times it completely abandons that.
Yeah.
oh,
and
we're
it's-
gonna get to a white ink outline soon. The fucking worst thing I've ever seen in a superhero movie to date.
Oh, yeah.
Also, man,
I thought you were talking about something with semen.
yeah, when he jacks off.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Kevin
But he
Feige
comes over
produced this
someone.
movie. Did
Yeah,
you
I
see
saw
that?
it. I did see that.
Oh my god.
He learned.
He
He learned. He's like, I'll never do another one again.
Honestly, I think Bob Iger made him learn. He was like, "You're
You're
gonna learn
gonna get
today."
it right.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, "We saw the Hulk. You're gonna learn today." And I know that's because he was like the head of like Marvel Studios. That's why he's involved. But like, fuck, man, they really made him like come around on this shit.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, then he does Incredible Hulk. Then so.
yeah.
mean, that's a little step up.
It's
a little bit of a step up.
That movie had problems because I'm starting to learn that as much as I like the guy, Edward Norton might be notoriously difficult to work with. So that's one of the reasons why that movie didn't get a sequel.
He was in Fight Club, right?
Yeah.
Yes. The reason I say that is, I mean, obviously this is the other Hulk movie, but they stopped making a sequel because they had creative differences with Edward Norton on that movie and decided not to go forward with a sequel. And then I was like, oh, maybe because I really like Edward Norton. I was like, maybe they just couldn't handle him. And then if you read the making of story for American History X, it was a completely different movie. And then Edward Norton came in and was like, no, we're making it like this. And
Really?
The movie is made, the director used a pseudonym because he felt so shunned by his own project.
Ugh.
Like, Edward Norton literally stepped in and was like, you're making it this movie, and that's how it's going to be. And completely changed it. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I think that's why they gave up on him, because they're like, fuck, this guy's
I
hard to
haven't
work
seen
with.
Ed Norton in a while.
Yeah, what is it?
You can see him in, like, he shows up in Wes Anderson stuff. He's in...
Yeah, I haven't
Moonrise
seen Ed
Kingdom.
Norton in a while.
You don't watch Wes Anderson?
You seen one.
Give me back your white card.
Hey, I also don't like skiing, so yeah, take my white card, please.
So, there's this, like, I'm just gonna go
Are we
ahead.
at the dogs yet?
No, that's the worst part.
We're almost there, right?
No.
We're at the restaurant. Who gives a shit?
When did they go to a restaurant?
She's like, fuck you, Dad, and then leaves at the restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Have we gotten to the point where they just, like...
Where they show the Hulk? No.
Well, no. They're, like, Jennifer Connelly's trying... I feel like she's trying to let Banner know that they both come from messed up families, and she's like, yeah, there was a nuclear accident, my dad left me in an ice cream parlor.
Yeah,
and then
I think
and
we're
then
kinda
Banner
there
was
now.
like,
Yeah, we're kind of there now.
Banner's like, yeah, but okay,
But my
dad literally murdered my wife, my mom.
Yeah, why didn't you do anything about it? What the fuck?
Jennifer Connelly's like, ugh, God, I got left at an ice cream store.
I can't even think about Rocky
Bruce
Road
Banner's
anymore.
like, yeah, I blacked out. As a 4-year-old, I blacked out
But
a
no,
memory, buddy.
Oh, I was so fucking confused because at first I thought his mom killed the dad, but that's his adopted mom
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that scene. Oh! I was like, damn, his mom killed his dad. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, but like, she's trying to compare traumas. Like, we're both from messed up families.
I
And
don't
it's like,
think she
no,
ever-
you just had like a bad moment as a child.
I don't think she ever puts it together where he left her in the ice cream store to see Bruce.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she's too stupid.
Like, oh, that's weird. We were both in the desert at one time?
So wouldn't you believe it? We're 45 minutes into the movie now, and it's the first time we get to see the Hulk.
No way.
Yeah. And it's for about 3 seconds. He has red pants on in this scene. I don't know if you noticed that. But he smashes the lab, almost kills his dad, and then...
Should have.
And then flees to a very long lingering shot of the San Francisco skyline
Yeah.
for far too long.
This is also the stupidest thing. So Jennifer Connelly comes over to his house and is like, ugh, look, we're having breakfast. And then her dad shows up and he's like, hey, so you weren't at the lab last night? And then throws his wallet down. Like he couldn't have just left the lab and forgotten his wallet at work.
Yeah, I
He
know.
bikes to work. How does a wallet at his place of employment mean that he was there last night and not just like earlier in the day?
Because who forgets their wallet?
I know.
Me, every day.
Like, this is really
I'm
bad
Sam
writing.
Elliott. How dare you forget your wallet?
That's a new ad for him. I'm Sam Elliott. Don't ever forget your wallet. Driving without a license is against the law. Biking to work without a license is against the law.
Get
I'm
your
Sam
Apple
Elliott.
tag here.
Oh, I thought those were only for dogs.
I mean, they could be.
I really genuinely thought they were like a dog tag.
No.
I
They're
didn't.
for items.
They're
Anything you
people's
need.
tags.
Oh, that's
If you
dumb.
lose shit, you just put it on there and you
Yeah.
got
I
it.
can tell what's his name had it. Steve Jobs' ghost to come and find me and get me.
Get
Yeah, so he shows up and he's like, "Hey, fucker, you left your ID," and that they like arrest him.
They bring him in at least for questioning? or
yeah, for
something?
questioning.
But they question him to find his dad?
Yeah, they're like, "Where's
But
your
also,
fucking dad?"
Why he doesn't tell him, so why is he defending his dad when he already was like, damn, fuck you, dad?
Yeah, I don't know. This movie, because it's
he
like
doesn't know that's his dad yet.
Yes,
No,
he does.
he told him
already
in the
does.
hospital.
He told him in the hospital.
No, because I thought when the
No,
interrogation,
he
he's like,
told him in
I
the
don't know
hospital.
what you're talking about. I've never seen my dad. And it's like, yeah, because I don't know who. I didn't know that was my dad yet.
Yeah, but he literally said, "I'm your dad," and so he could at least be like, "Well, there's this one guy telling me that he's my dad. Go ask him. He's the crazy one."
It's like, I am your father. No! Yeah, so Betty goes to investigate who he is. He explains who he is. He's like, oh yeah, I'm Bruce's father. And then he kicks her out. It's a weird scene. It
steals her scarf.
And steals her scarf, yes.
The smell of it.
He's like, oh, goddamn. It smells like perfume that she put on her neck.
Save this one for later.
Desert flower.
That's going in the spank bank. I can't wait for her to be She-Hulk. So, again, we go to Banner's house. He finds out more about his past, about everything that happened, that he was injected, or he was semen that was gamma.
His dad was testing on himself, and then he impregnated his wife, and then popped out a radioactive baby.
Yeah, and then this is when he's kind of double-crossed by, what's her butt? Betty, where she's like, it's okay, and then her dad shows up with like a SWAT team.
Yeah.
And they're gonna arrest him, but then finally, guys, it's an hour into the movie, and we finally get some Hulkamania, where it's on Hulk smash, and he goes fucking berserk. And I tell you what, it's like 15 minutes long of Hulk just going ape shit. Come on, brother, let's go. He rips his shirt. Now I'm gonna say a slur.
Wait, is this when what's his butt comes to his
Talbot?
house? Yeah, Talbot.
No, that's who it is. It's Talbot. Shows
Yeah, I was
up,
like, I don't
and then
think
the
your
SWAT
dad did
team
that.
shows up, and he's like, "I'm gonna cut you up."
I hate Talbot so much.
This character is so I hate saying
one-dimensional.
comically evil because he is like a comic book character, but he really is. He's just short of like wringing his hands.
He's
being
like that one
nice.
evil guy that's in that Adam Sandler movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Like the
All
same
of them?
vibes as that.
You mean all of them?
Yeah. No, what's the children one? The Billy Madison.
Okay.
Oh,
The
the
one
guy
that
who
wants
was
to
going to take over the
hotel.
hotels. Yes,
Yeah,
that is basically the same
Comically
character.
bad.
Yeah, where he's just like
Always wearing a suit. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what you were asking about? Yes, we're at the lakeside house for him to meet.
Probably one of
with-
the best scenes, though, of the movie.
That poor
honestly,
Redwood.
probably the worst scene in the movie.
Yeah.
I
For
like this
me.
fight scene.
Have you played Fallout 4?
Ugh.
Oh damn! The dogs in this scene look like the super mutant
dogs
that
look
they keep.
horrible.
The dogs
They
are.
look scary. They're terrifying.
They have that early CGI like slimy.
But also, why was that one dog's face like flat and wide?
Yeah.
When like no like.
Do you know what's
the
funny
poodle
is-
looks like a poodle.
Yeah, none of only the poodle kept looking like a dog, and the other ones look
like,
nothing
what is
like
that, a
it.
bear from Chernobyl? Jesus, is that those wild boars they're talking
it's the bear
about?
from Annihilation.
Yeah. Oh god. Just screaming. Ugh.
Yeah, so we have a dog fight again. Way too long. It's like 15
I like it. They'll
minutes.
jump into the trees, and there's.
Well, but you also
If you
ball
wanna see this scene-
punching,
if you wanna
and
see-
there's shoulder muscle flexing that breaks his jaw.
But
if you
want to
see this scene done better but longer, just watch Cujo.
Yeah.
When she's in the car and they're like, I was like, what's the point of these Hulk dogs if they can't break
the
glass?
poodle's head
Yeah.
through the glass, and he's like,
Peyton really liked this Hulk.
it was.
Now
okay,
say your favorite part.
That was one of my favorite parts.
No, the part where he punches the dog in the
And then,
balls.
and then he like lifts it up by the tail and goosh right in the nuts. There's a Hulk punch nuts.
He's like, did you see Hulk punch nuts? She's like, I did, Hulk.
I have such a huge hatred for movies that I know they're not actually destroying like natural monuments, but this movie destroys so many like natural monuments.
There is collateral damage in this movie that is absurd.
Yes.
Because at the end, we'll get to it, but that is a lot of damage that they
That's-
cause.
Like I'm pretty sure those are protected land.
No one can
national
go back to that
landmarks.
place
Yeah.
ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they topple over a redwood tree. That tree is so old.
Yeah,
Also,
they
I
do that
feel
all the
like
time.
they wouldn't.
I don't like that.
I
They're
feel
tall.
like they would have not been able to break it that easily.
I know. I was like,
There's that.
just throwing a dog into it's gonna do anything.
Let's be honest here. This isn't Man of Steel levels of collateral damage,
Right.
Yeah.
but there is some egregious acts.
There's some
in this.
environmental.
Oh, we'll
collateral
talk
damage.
about collateral damage in the next episode.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, yeah.
Oh yeah.
These movies are the same.
Yeah.
Get ready
much
for
are.
next episode where we talk about the same things again.
Hulk 2.0.
Really, actually, is it's the same movie.
It is, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So this is when we get to see Hulk
Or because I mean, technically, one came before the other.
So that is this is a copy of that movie.
Yeah.
Yes. This one we get to see
And if you want
Hulk,
to get the
but
origins, the monster was first. It was in the 50s. Hulk didn't start until
Peyton's
the
an
60s.
apologist. I'm gonna say he's a Godzilla apologist.
I love Godzilla. We'll get into the next episode.
Yeah. So yeah, Hulk changes back. He's naked, and then he says my favorite line, which I wrote down as he's about to lose control, and I think he likes it. Is when he's like, "When I'm Hulk, I like it. Feels good in there." And I'm like, okay.
And that's when he does that. Boom. And it takes like 10 minutes for him to go through each one. It's like, boom. I'm like, okay.
So then he gets duped again. Or no, this is when he gets duped by Betty Ross, where the dad shows up, tranks him.
She's like, my dad will fix it. Don't worry.
Do you know what is funny? I'm gonna say it. Hulk has always been until the Marvel Studios iteration of the Hulk came to be. I have always been like, and even in the Marvel Studios iteration, I've always been like, why do we tolerate the Hulk?
Yeah.
Like, this is the first
That's
time
what I'm
in a
saying, like,
movie
I
where I'm
don't
like,
get why
I
he's
think
an
the government's correct on this. This is a dangerous thing to have
Yeah.
walking around your town.
Yeah. Well,
Like, she's doing the right thing by
She is
having him
doing-
like tranquilized, and then like she's trying to do the right thing
She's
because
trying
then
to
they
do
want
the
to
right
test on him.
and then that's when she's like, oh, whoa, pump the brakes there, Dad. But a lot in the comic books, at least before this movie, I feel like, I mean, I don't know, but I feel like this movie kind of changed the comic books as well. Because before this, it was all like Hulk was just sort of this green muscle, basically.
Yeah,
And then after this movie, I think that's when they started doing like Smart Hulk.
because he's kind of an anti-hero.
Yeah. Yeah.
My question is, when does he get a roller coaster?
This movie is the roller coaster,
Yeah.
okay?
That roller coaster's good though. I really
it?
liked. Oh yeah. That's a killer ride. Have you ever been on it?
Isn't
No.
it just, I never understood those. Like the Batman roller coaster, the Superman roller coaster, the Hulk.
The Hulk roller coaster
like,
is that you're
it's
being
so-
put in a tube exposed to gamma radiation.
And then what, you blast off?
yeah.
And
The
then-
Batman roller coaster in Six Flags St. Louis is really good. Or it was in 2000.
So we go out to the desert, which all the desert scenes are filmed in Victorville.
Victorville?
Yeah,
Why-
which is like a city, like a couple cities over.
That's,
It's here.
yeah.
It's like right down. It's down. It's 40 miles from here.
Why do desert scenes have like I'm gonna say like an Indian vibe
Yeah.
in the music?
They do.
Oh
Where
no,
it's
the people
constantly
who wrote this
like,
music wrote Wonder Woman's theme
No,
in the
this is
Snyder cut.
This is Danny Elfman.
I know. I'm making a
Oh.
joke, Peyton.
It's the Danny Elfman cinematic universe.
Oh my god! So Batman's in
Batman?
this too.
Yeah.
No, what I was saying is in Snyder Cut, every time they show Wonder Woman, it's always like, "Ah!" That's the same music in this part too. It's the same. So yeah, they're in the desert, and that's it.
Which-
really,
how-
they go to a secret lab.
They start going underground and there's like a lot of tunnels underground. It's
Yeah,
a lot of
It's like
a
this
lot
giant, like, Raccoon City lab.
Honestly, I
thing.
think they're trying to suggest, because it's the desert and it's a secret lab, I think they're trying to like invoke like Area
Area
51
Yeah.
type things. Also, her dad is a 4-star general. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but I was really like, wow, that's a big deal. But that they're just kind of like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like, this is the part where one of the only interesting things throughout this slog of a movie happens, which is when Banner Sr. Infiltrates the lab, injects himself with gamma,
This is when he huffs the gamma, right?
Yeah.
Like, takes a big puff.
He does poppers of it. He's like, no, that's not FDA approved.
Yeah, the FDA is going to stop this one, that's
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, so he huffs the gamma radiation, and then his hand gets stuck in the metal.
He becomes the absorbing man.
Is that what it's called?
So that there is...
Please tell me that is not the villain that they decided to go with
I
in this
kind of
movie.
like it.
So-
I did wish that was the actual villain for the entire run of it, but this movie has a problem of making everyone minor villains instead of having like
Yeah.
one
No, we're talking
good
about the
one.
Hulk,
Okay.
not Spider-Man 3.
Oh.
No, we're talking about the Hulk, not the Amazing Spider-Man 2. No, we're talking about the Hulk. Just
God.
keep going through the Spider-Man movies.
Not No Way Home.
Oh my
yes.
God.
So this is a combination of two villains. The Absorbing Man, who is really... His real is not Brian Banner. He's a different character completely in the Marvel comic books. And then he's also Zax, who's like this when he
Zack?
absorbs the electricity later on in the movie, he like absorbs electricity and has like this
Oh,
pure energy.
That's Scooby-Doo the movie too, Monsters Unleashed.
No, that's Jamie Foxx in Amazing Spider-Man.
It's all Spider-Man.
Everything is Spider-Man.
Yeah, so the Absorbing Man is a real comic book villain, just not the origins are not here.
If I had a time machine, I would go back in time and beat up the person who was making Absorbing Man in the moment so they wouldn't do
It's
it.
probably Stanley and Jack Kirby.
I could take them, little nerds. Yeah, so he becomes Absorbing Man, which is the fucking dumbest thing I've ever
It is
heard.
pretty
He
dumb.
does the thing where he like absorbs his foot to a grate and then like flips this cop on his back and then fucking crushes him.
I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
doesn't have super strength either. So
Well, I think when you become a thing, I think you can... I don't know, actually. You're right. That is really weird.
I mean, just because the Hulk gets stronger doesn't mean he absorbs things, not super strength.
And actually, as we see later on, when he absorbs into something, he gets stuck in it, kind of.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if you could lift... He can't get himself out of that rock, so I don't think he'd be able to lift that.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where it's too powerful of a power and he doesn't understand how to control it.
Oh, he's got to level
Because
up.
that's why he was like, oh shit, I can't get my hand out of this metal.
At first.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be scary if I got... That... For a moment, I had like a panic attack
that
of being like, could
terrifies
you
me.
imagine if you get stuck in something like that?
You're like your powers. You're like, I don't no.
Yeah. Like in a
I
video
touched
game
the
when you
fax
clip into an
machine.
item and you have to like keep jumping to get out of
I'm
it.
glitched. Help me.
Now I have to restart from my last save. So yeah, we have now the movie has progressed about an hour and a half,
Oh my
and there
God.
has been about 20 minutes of Hulk content in this Hulk movie.
It's weird because it's also like 20 minutes of Jennifer Connelly crying.
Literally during this, I kept being like, do you plan on having any Hulk in this Hulk movie? It's just like, can we please have the Hulk, please, for the
Well,
love of God.
well, from
The
here on out,
final
like,
40 minutes are just shots
Too
of
much
the
Hulk.
Hulk.
Too much Hulk.
it's just Hulk bonanza.
So, yeah, we go into this X-Men jail cell that they have.
That's so random. Like, it is not thematically,
They're like-
architecturally.
They're like, hey, Bryan Singer's filming in the studio next door. They said we can use their set for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, they walk into Cerebro.
Yeah. So the Atheon guy, whatever his name is, Talbot, whatever, is like, I need a piece of your skin because then I'm gonna make super soldiers and I'm gonna inject it into myself and blah 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 blah, all this bullshit. So of course Hulk escapes, and they like expanding insulation foam him. They seal his pipes. And he goes in with this, like, there's a really confusing moment right here. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but Talbot is, like, gonna drill into the Hulk.
I think through his mouth.
Through
I
his
thought he was
mouth.
going to go in through his eye.
But did you
Oh,
see
was
his
it his
eye
eye?
get, like, really big in that scene? Did you see it, like, get weird?
Okay, so this iteration of the Hulk, which
Like,
is
more
also-
angry means more Hulk,
Right.
right?
And
Oh, he gets
He
bigger?
gets bigger when he gets
I was
madder.
wondering
And-
why he was, like, 20 feet tall when he
Yeah.
got out of this tunnel.
Yeah.
there is so much that this movie explains and so much that this movie does not. It just like
There's
throws
a
you to
lot
the
of-
wolves.
Like if you're a Hulk fan or read Hulk, that's a common thing. Like the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets.
Not to be a huge nerd, but in Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer 40K, the orcs, the more fights they win, the bigger they get. So the biggest orcs have won many fights. So they're basically the Hulk, I guess. It's yeah.
The Hulk of
Of Warhammer.
MCU.
And they are... Warhammer is in the MCU. There's Marvel Warhammer comics now.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're going to make space racists
I
show
think I
up in the
heard
next
that.
Spider-Man.
Space racists?
Oh, yeah. Warhammer 40,000 is supposed to be a parody of fascism, but it is not a parody anymore. They're like,
they?
no, the xenophobic genocide guys, those are the good guys. Those are the ones we want.
You're like, wait, I don't know why.
It's like, I don't know if these are the good guys anymore.
Should I still be playing this game?
Yes. Everyone should. So the Hulk is getting ready to... He wakes up in this like tank, because they do get him into this...
This is before the
Yeah.
expanding.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
that's
is.
right, that's right. Yes. He gets in a tank, he gets out.
They try to drill in him, can't do it.
Then this is the
That's
thing
when he
I was
hulks
saying.
out. Then he gets insulation foam.
So he gets out of the insulation foam, and Talbot, whatever his name is, shoots a grenade at him, and it bounces off of him and lodges itself in a wall, and it explodes.
Worst transition
Holy
ever.
fuck! He explodes, and they're like, "No, go full comic book here."
Like, go comic book, but also make it a little bit Paper Mario.
Yes. Like when Paper Mario gets like hit against the screen and he peels off. Yes.
Ah!
And then it's like, all right, that was weird.
And
anyway,
it's like
back
really
to the
bad
regular
fire
movie.
effects.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, this is next week's episode.
I'm telling you, we picked the same movie back to back. Yeah, so he blows up in the stupidest shit I've ever seen. He starts hulking out, and Sam Elliott is like, open one exit route.
The only
essentially.
smart character in this movie.
Yeah, he's like, just let him out. It'll be easier to fight him outside than it will to fight him inside.
I thought this was when that character was finally going to be like, hey, what if we stop fighting him and just let him go? Won't he, like, just get away from us?
Oh my god, this is next week's episode.
Like, just let the Hulk go.
Yeah, I know.
He's only destroying stuff because you're attacking him.
Wow, this is next week's episode.
So he's like, so what he says is, shut down power to the main hall. That's what he says. I'd only have that written down because there's a funny interaction with it. But basically what they're going to do is they're going to shut down power to the main hall, so there's only one way he can exit, so they know where he's going to come out. But he says this to this girl that's like on the floor. And he's like, shut down the power to the main hall. And the way that she says, sir, one, it's like 80 yard.
Right?
Did you hear it?
It's weird.
She's like, sir.
Yes, sir.
And her mouth doesn't move. It's completely 80 yard, but she's like, sir. It's like, and then it just progresses. They're like, all right, ignore that and just keep going.
We'll edit it later. Quick note, they forgot to edit it later.
Yeah. So Hulk gets out. He's in all these houses. And I mentioned that this is Victorville, right? And when they're in these like dilapidated houses. And the reason, one, I looked it up and saw that it's Victorville. But one reason I really know this, and again, I'm nerd corner here, is there's a subsect of Airsoft called MilSim, which is military simulation. And they're like 48-hour to 72-hour long continuous role-playing things where you are in full military gear. And they do them in Victorville in this old abandoned military barrack town, basically, in Victorville. They do them like 48-hour events where you go and you act out being in the military.
Where?
And that's these houses in these scenes.
No, but what town was it?
Victorville?
What?
Victorville?
Say it again.
Victorville?
Thank you.
Victorville?
Uh-huh.
The only Cracker Barrel in California is in Victorville.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah.
Racist restaurant.
I hate that restaurant. I went there on a break one time when we had to do something out there, and it was the fucking worst food I've ever had. And the waitress was really weird.
Well,
Shout
you can
out.
say racist.
She was like, "Oh, we have immediate seating for y'all. You have the disposition." She didn't say that. Don't go to Cracker Barrel in Victorville and say that. They said
Oh,
that.
God.
So
Bombs
this
away said.
Yeah, right. So this is where Hulk runs, Hulk jumps, and Hulk smashes.
And Hulk learns to fly. Oh wait, that's a different movie.
That's a different movie, yes. No, but in this one, they were like, what if we really spent the budget on going to a bunch of beautiful places just for Hulk to jump? Because they go to Arches National Park, they go to Monument Valley, and they go to like Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
And then they go to the dunes in Death Valley. And they're like, all right, cool. Bring him back where we were.
Since that's cross-country tour.
Yeah. And I do have to admit,
deserts of the country.
He looks so fucking stupid jumping.
Yeah.
When he gets far enough away from the shot, they just like drag and like decrease his model because he's not moving anymore. His arms are just like out, kind of like in a T pose, and they just like, pull him. Yeah. So
they should have added spring noises.
Boing, boing.
They get him to change back because Jennifer Connelly's like, I love you. And then he kind of changes back. And then I will fully admit this is when I went and made that sandwich. So that when I came back, he was chained up with his dad. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh, you missed a bunch.
Yeah, when they're in San Francisco.
So you
they
missed
do
some
the
like
fight.
actual good parts.
Yeah, you missed the
which
whole,
is funny.
Like, tank battle.
So
Oh, no, I did see the tank battle when he bent the tank.
Yeah, the guy's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So he makes it all the way to San Francisco.
Which, if he can jump like that, he jumped over like 5 states. It's not that impressive.
He jumped to the top of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
And then
cool
there's like
Look, when you've seen one Hulk jump, you've seen them all.
So what happens is there's like a commercial helicopter flying around for some reason, and it throws off these fighter pilots, but then there's also fog, and he's like, I'm gonna hit the Golden Gate Bridge, and the Hulk can like supersonic hear him.
I'm realizing now that you're saying it, I did. I saw when those 2 small helicopters are like harassing him, and then he like blows them up, and then Sam Elliott's helicopter's nearby, and he's like, oh, and then he jumps to San Francisco.
This is when they floor the... Is it this when they floor the...
Oh, turn it into a parking lot.
Yeah. Turn it into a parking lot.
Yeah, I did see this part.
Oh, there goes our national
There
wonders.
goes...
Yeah, there we go. Who cares?
Nature's Wonderland.
Move on.
But
Thank God Teddy Roosevelt's dead.
He miraculously is able to hear the communication that the pilot is having.
Oh yeah, that's what Gamma does.
In the in the fighter jet, and he's like, "I'm not gonna pull up in time. I'm gonna hit it." But then he jumps on the airplane to like push him down to save him. Because I think if you watch, the Hulk never kills anyone.
No, I'm sure he killed the people that were in that tank that he
No,
threw.
because it shows the guy walking out.
Damn,
it shows him walking.
I was like, imagine getting thrown in that.
I know.
And you'd be like,
yeah,
So-
this is next week's episode.
no,
there's
that
death.
Kills a lot of people.
Yeah.
Not intentionally.
Ah.
Kill him intentionally. He doesn't eat anyone.
Okay, no one in
Other
Jurassic
things
Park
do.
dies intentionally, then I guess.
They're just trying to survive. Yeah. So then,
let's just try and eat some fish, okay?
yeah. So he's on the fighter jet, and then Sam Neill.
Sam Neill, now we're talking
Sam
about Jurassic
Elliott,
Park.
yeah.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott's like, fly as high up into space as you can. And I was like, I don't think this fighter jet can even go that high. But it goes to where...
Fighter jets can scrape like the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going out of the atmosphere. It should have
Hopefully
stalled.
it hits Jeff Bezos' ship
Yeah.
on the way.
Fingers crossed. God. And then Hulk falls back, and then he falls in the water, and then they're like, shoot a bunch of bombs in the
I'm
water.
pretty sure the fighter pilot didn't come back down.
Yeah, I didn't see him. He's in orbit
think
still.
He's like, you know what? Space is safe. There's no Hulks up here.
And then, so then they try blowing up the Hulk when he's underwater, but then the Hulk goes through the sewer system under the streets of San Francisco.
Is next week's episode.
Yeah. And he pops out of the hole.
Hulk.
Yeah. He pops out of his hole.
The manhole.
Out of the sewer hole.
And Jennifer Connelly, they're like,
This is where I said he's saved by the power of love.
Yeah.
He is.
But they're like, you know those notable staircases in San Francisco? Let's get a shot of her on that.
Yeah, so they drop her off. He's
I
at the
did
bottom
see
of
that.
that.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, all right, we'll drop you off at the top. We can't do anything better, even though he's at the bottom. And so he's just like, go down all those stairs. Hulk!
I can't remember what the name of the road is now.
Yeah.
It's the windy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then...
That's embarrassing for me to not know
Yeah,
what it's
Mr.
called.
San Francisco.
I'm not from there.
You're closer than I am, so.
That is true. 40 miles from San Francisco. I should know it.
Oh.
But
Well,
yeah.
But then he starts turning into Jell-O.
He does.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really creepy.
There's a lot that I don't like about this movie, and that's one of them.
Ugh, and his feet are like
It's
gooey but really big as he's
Yeah.
shrinking back into normal human size.
It's
It's like
very Animorphs.
Oh God, that
Animorphs covers.
unlocked a horrible feeling in me. Animorphs is so scary to me. I used to not be able to watch it when I was little because it was just so fucking scary. I
Yeah.
couldn't even look at the book covers.
Those book covers, I was like, how does
Loved
this
them.
work?
You know, like the third stage in the book covers where it
Yeah.
was like really upsetting. Like,
where it's like their face is pulled backwards and like, I'm gonna be a dolphin. Ow! Their bones are breaking inside their skull.
could you imagine if you anamorphosized into a dolphin like in your room and then you just fucking died?
Did you ever read The Island of Dr.
breathe
Moreau?
No, but I know about it and I know the movie, and there's a really good Simpsons episode about it.
It's really good, but it reminded me of morphing into something else and your bones breaking
Mm-hmm.
to like and feeling it as you're morphing.
So speaking of this bad movie, not
Oh
Island
yeah,
of
this is
Dr.
where this movie should have ended.
Oh, right here.
Because
But this
like,
is where I said is all of a sudden
Yeah.
he was with his dad.
Dolphins breathe air, so they'd be fine. And
I don't think they can stay on land for long amounts of time if you got stuck in a
can.
bedroom.
There's nothing that says
I think it'll dry him out.
yeah.
they breathe air into their lungs just like we do.
What stopped them from coming on land and having sex with us then?
Legs,
There's a dollop
Determination.
LSD.
But then for some reason his dad turned himself in
To do this.
for war crimes,
Yeah.
I guess.
I do like, okay, I'm just going to say it. They're chained up together and then he bites an electrical cord like a rat. He's like,
Yeah, I don't understand how he was able to bite and it's not like
and
up-
it's not live. In the moment when he bites it, that electrical cord is not live. I don't know what he was planning on doing, but they do turn it on for him.
Yeah.
Like, allow us. And then he absorbs the electricity and he becomes
giant electric zax.
yeah, and then he's like, and I do have to say,
it looks
like,
good.
I want to give this movie some credence. This part where the lightning in the clouds is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I was just to say that I hated it.
Oh, really?
love
Yeah.
that.
I thought this was like the coolest part.
I'll say that the coolest part is like you the idea of it. You know, you get the lightning and the thunder going, and in the lightning you see like flash, like still images of them fighting and everything. But I'm like, this is the dumbest fight. You don't even see them fighting; they're just in the air.
And admittingly,
Likes the bad, hates the good.
I know. Admittingly, the next fight to the end is really dark, and I can't tell what's happening.
Yeah.
But this part was cool because I was like, "Oh, that's the Hulk in the clouds!" Like being
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, but how's he fighting him? He's
holding him.
He's just like, whoa.
I don't think they're fighting. I think he's being
carrying
dragged
him.
along by
yeah,
lightning.
Yeah, he's carrying him to
I wouldn't call this a fight because
this
Hulk gets
lake
his ass
that they
handed
fight
to him.
at. Which the fight's really lame because
The fight
basically what it is he's absorbing Hulk's energy.
Because that's okay. So we should get into that. So basically, he's trying to make Bruce into the Hulk so he can absorb the energy, so he can repair himself.
Basically, so he can cure Bruce while also empowering himself.
Yeah, such a convoluted way of doing it.
It's so dumb. And then guess what, guys? We're just gonna say they fucking nuked them. Actually,
Yeah.
they don't nuke them. They
Gamma
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They drop and if you look really quickly in the scene, they completely obliterate this
Yeah.
lake that they
Yeah.
were fighting in the mountains.
Which I'm like, how did they get this lake so quickly? Where was
Yeah.
this part filmed? Do you know?
It looks like Lake Tahoe. I don't think it
tiny
was
little
filmed up there,
lake.
but it looks like
Like
some
lake-
type of
like Donner or
alpine
something?
lake. Yeah, Donner.
It's called Donner, huh?
Yeah, all those dead bodies up there.
Oh, that was
Tasty.
So then we get a jump forward
A
Where-
year.
yeah.
A year later.
where Sam Elliott's like, "Hey, I killed your boyfriend." It's just like,
Sorry.
why did he
Well-
call her? He's like, "If you ever see your dead boyfriend, you'll let me know, right?"
He's like, she's like, oh, it's good to hear from you. He's like, yeah, thought I'd call. She's like, yeah, you could call more.
And he's like,
Just
"Anyway,
really awkward.
there's no way he would have survived.
He's really dead. You remember how dead he is? It's
But if
been a
you
year.
ever see him, you'll let me know." And she's like, "Yeah,
No, I won't."
This is post 9/11. You have my phones tapped.
Yeah.
You have, we're good." This next scene
South of the border.
really made this movie so bad for me. In my mind, this actually turned the tides for making this movie even worse.
I like to imagine the Incredible Hulk didn't happen, and this is what establishes whenever they first introduced the Hulk. in the MCU.
I mean, it could be. You kind of
Because he was off the grid and Black Widow did have to find
so
him.
He was off the
fucking
grid
dumb.
in Incredible Hulk too.
Yeah,
he
but I haven't
leaves.
seen it or don't remember
Oh,
it.
I haven't seen it, so therefore I say it doesn't work.
Because I think it came out and I was like, we already released this movie. Pfft, stupid. And then I just didn't watch it.
Yeah, because he's
Or
like.
I've seen it and I was like, wow, this is just an Incredible Hulk movie.
Is this
I
a
just don't think he's an
Universal
interesting
movie?
character.
I think so.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Do they mention this on the tram tour? Because that'd be embarrassing. I'd be like, don't show this on the tram
No.
tour. So yeah, here is Hulk, Bruce Banner in Latin America, and these people are stealing medicine from these people.
They're like, this is the government's medicine.
And then he's like, you won't like me when I'm angry.
And there's a frog on his hat.
That turns
They're like-
green when it's like the
really?
scene is slowly turning greener,
I
and the
didn't see
frog
that.
goes really green. And I was like,
In the best closing shot,
when it goes through
it's
the...
just a green rectangle.
yes, and it's like,
But it's not even really Hulk green. I
no,
would
it's
say.
like it's a different green. It's a deeper green.
It's like a forest. Green.
Yes, it's the dumbest fucking ending to a movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, he's still alive anyway. You're not getting a sequel.
At least not with us. You're not getting.
Yeah, they're like, thanks, Ang Lee, for nothing. Anyway.
Include the Incredible Hulk. It's like a maybe sequel, like a sister sequel.
No, because the Incredible Hulk, it shows his backstory
Does it
again.
really?
It shows him doing
I
the
thought
gamma experiment on himself.
Oh, I thought they did the Spider-Man thing. Like, yeah, you've seen this before.
No, they did it again.
Oh.
Remember all the 2000 Spider-Man, or all the 2000s into literally pre Homecoming, they were like, you have to see the origin story
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
time. Like, we've seen
So many
every
dead
Batman
Uncle
movie has the
Bens.
Batman story pre
Every Superman.
Homecoming, because then when we get Batman versus Superman, they don't show you any of that. It was just a thing. They're like, every time you have to see it. Like
It's like we know.
Amazing Spider-Man, they show it.
Yeah.
You get to see Uncle Ben die again. Wonderful. But yeah, that was the Incredible Hulk. More
Nope.
like the Incredible Bulk. 'Cause
Nope,
the
it
whole
wasn't that
film
either.
is
It was just Hulk.
Oh, that's right, Hulk.
You're on the wrong movie.
Fuck. That makes me so mad. God, it makes me so mad that the movie's just called
Uh-oh,
Hulk.
he's getting angry.
Tyler is now turning green. He did go to the gym yesterday.
Nope, he's just pooping.
Oh my god.
Oh god, he's just really nauseous. He's gonna blow chunks.
Oh no,
There's green everywhere.
my poop has gamma radiation. It's green.
He ate too many Shamrock Shakes. He's gonna throw up.
Let's go to the Jaws scale.
Jaws 4.
Me
I'm
want
jumping
Jaws
in line.
scale. Jared's just going
It's
for it.
Jaws 4.
I'll Jaws for it as well.
I will Jaws for it as well.
Another unanimous.
A
Jaws
unanimous Jaws for it.
Ugh,
Don't bother.
Don't waste your time.
there's nothing.
This movie put a theory in my mind that there is not enough content for a standalone
There
Hulk
is
film.
and I think
I
that
don't think there is.
I will say
because he's one trick. That's
But
the thing.
Here's the thing, though, is that I think that this movie showed that, and since then, the comic book Hulk movies, or comic book Hulk line, has done like a complete 180. Like there's like Smart Hulk.
Yeah, they turned it
there's
into a
World
she.
War Hulk. There's all kinds of things that are
War Hole?
World War Hulk.
Oh.
So
Do
basically,
you know what's the thing that sucks about the Hulk is that the most interesting things about the Hulk are not the Hulk, because like what is he, the Maestro, right?
Oh, his villain.
Yeah,
Like,
who is a Hulk like variant.
he's like a super brainiac.
Yeah,
guy.
is really interesting.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think the problem is that the Hulk has gone off in most of the comics on his own offshoot, and due to the fact that with the MCU you can't make anything that isn't linked to the MCU. You can't just make a movie that goes off on its own tangent. You would have to make a Hulk series of films where it never ties back into the MCU, where he can go and do the Planet Hulk shit and
That'd be
all that.
And
but
that
they
was, That
won't.
was sort of intertwined with Ragnarok.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's the thing too, is I think even Disney's like, I don't think we could do that well.
Yeah.
We'll just say he went away and then he came back.
And the other thing too is, I think the problem
leave it to
is
you.
that because the Hulk is like this, like me Hulk, me smash, like dumb thing. It's like it makes the drama behind it feel stupid, because you're just like, I don't really care about the drama of this regular guy. I just want a guy who smashes shit. Like, and that's why I think all the Hulk B plots in the other movies
It's like trying to make a Rampage movie interesting. You just kind of can't.
I was almost like, did they make a Rampage movie? They
did.
did make a Rampage movie, and that's just
Wasn't that with Rock the Dwayne Johnson?
Cock. Dwayne the Cock Johnson.
No, it's Rock the Dwayne Johnson.
Actually, I think you mean Scorpion King.
Yes. Oh, talk about great CGI. I love that movie.
That might be one we
Add it to the list.
We had an opening, and I think we just found it. So yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was me. My pants were off.
Oh my god, that was Hulk. Not incredible. Definitely not incredible. The mediocre Hulk. Jaws 4 is all around. Don't watch it. Don't even bother. It's not streaming anywhere for good reason, I think.
Yeah.
So that about does it for us here at Bombs Away. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on all the social media platforms at Bombs Away Show. Leave a review. Leave a like. Did I miss anything? YouTube, subscribe. We keep getting steady subscribers. Yeah. I think it's because, I'm just going to say it, there are full-length films on our Bombs Away YouTube account.
Hey.
That get like 30,000 views a day.
All right.
Not like that many, but I will say not Hotline Miami. That's a video game. God damn it. Miami Connection is on there, and every day there's like 100 new comments on that video. People are like, "Wow, I can't believe I found this movie." So who knows how long that'll be on there?
Comment back. Subscribe, please.
Yeah, subscribe. Yeah. There always are because I think we have more movies on there. We also have 978
976 Evil.
Yeah.
2 on there. So. We have full-length movies on there. Eventually, we're going to get copyright struck, and it's going to all go away. But you can check it out.
Right.
We have no copyright strikes on our channel,
though. We're less than the
threshold. Probably. I know. We're getting closer. We need
please subscribe.
Yeah, please subscribe. We'll take them off once all that happens. But yes, please subscribe. Join us. Literally, actually, next week because of the release schedule. Because yes, this episode was delayed. Thank you for being kind to us. It was a nice little week off. It was nice to have
a nice little relaxation over the 4th.
Yeah, but join us next week for the
teased
same
it enough.
movie. Yeah. We've already said what it was for Godzilla 1998.
Yeah,
woof.
I'm excited.
All right, well that does it for us. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye.
Bye. Hulk, leave the studio now.
You Wouldn't Like Me, directed by Anne Lee.